So, hello, Majanik, and welcome to Romania. Thank you for taking the time to visit us today. And just so that we know each other a bit better, my name is Maria Hostiuk. I'm hosting this session today, as I was saying earlier, from quite a rainy Bucharest today, not so spring here in Romania. What I usually do here at Cognizant Softvision is I'm the head of Studio Experience, which means that I make sure that all of our colleagues and our guests, clients, stakeholders, Cognizant colleagues as well have amazing experiences when they interact with us. But for today, because we're talking about visiting Romania, I'm going to play a very special role for you. I'm going to be your CEO for the day. That is Chief Entertainment Officer, right? And travel guide. I want to make sure that you get a fun and informative experience throughout this virtual visit. And I want to wish you a very traditional welcome to Romania to all of you. Now, for those of you traveling to Romania for the very first time, allow me to give you just a few glimpses of information regarding the country you just landed in. So I will do it exactly as I learned it back in elementary school, so bear with me. Romania is that flat fish-shaped country in the southeastern Europe, right next to Ukraine, Moldova, Hungary, Serbia, Bulgaria, and the Black Sea, which surprisingly enough, it's blue, not black at all, by the way. Our capital city is the city of Bucharest, although sometimes during big concerts, some bands, and I'm not going to give names, but it's Depeche Mode, who actually told us that they were in Budapest. They said, hello, Budapest, instead of Bucharest, the capital city of Hungary. Now, because you're here in Bucharest and because you didn't have to take the plane and stay for 10 or 12 hours trapped inside of a plane, and you arrived here very quickly, allow me to show you some of the landmarks in Bucharest so that if someone asks what you've seen in Romania, you can actually tell them. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is this one, the Arch of Triumph. It's identical to the one that you're going to see in Paris, in Boulevard de Champs-Élysées, and this actually brought Bucharest the denomination of Little Paris a few years back. The next one is this one, the Palace of the Parliament, or the House of the People, how we call it. This is an impressive building. It's a legacy of our former president, communist president Ceausescu, and it's so big that you can actually spot it from outer space together with the Pentagon. It took a lot of time to build this one, but it's open to public, so next time that you're going to be here in Romania, you can visit it. And this one here, it's called Manuk's Inn, and surprisingly enough, is the oldest hotel operating building in Romania, built in the 1800s. It's the place where all the posh visitors, elite visitors, would stay when they would visit Bucharest a couple of hundreds of years back. Now, it's an operating restaurant, so next time you're going to be in Romania, you need to go there and try out the papanaș and sarmale, the most specific dishes in Romania. You're not going to regret it. And because you've seen a bit from Bucharest, here we are. Welcome to Cognizant Softvision Bucharest. This is the studio that we have here in Bucharest, and what would normally have greeted you when you would have arrived here would be something like this. Well, normally for today, we have to do it virtually. So we cannot be in the mood that I've just created for you there at the studio. But because we've got acquainted and you get to see some faces, it's time to meet. No great visit would be complete without truly wonderful hosts. And I'm sure that you're going to agree with me on this one. So allow me to introduce you to my colleagues quickly, who will today be the living proof of the already famous Romanian hospitality in the world. We have today Mihai, Monica, Matei, who together with Bogdan, Ana, and Radu will walk you through Romania, will answer your question, and of course, you can keep in touch afterwards and you can take some questions offline as well. Now that you know us, When we heard that you're going to travel and visit us here in Romania, we wanted to show you everything here in Romania, which is not possible in just 1 hour, of course. So we had to cherry pick everything for you, and this is what it came out. So any questions are welcomed, and feel free to ask them by adding them on the chat or unmuting yourself if you have any. But please be mindful, we're a lot of people in this conversation, and we want to show you as much as possible. So for the next hour and a bit, you are going to embark in a virtual journey in order to get a feel of the ground and see how we do software product engineering with a Romanian twist. Of course, we also want to show you a bit about our culture, the Romanian culture. Now, speaking of culture, you see me wearing this blouse that in Romania is called ie. Generally, it's hand-sewn, and we wear it for festive occasions. And because today is a very festive occasion for us, welcoming you in Romania into the family, I decided to wear one for you today. And because we're talking about culture, another thing that I want to tell you is that Romanians have always been considered an extremely creative people here in the region. Writers, inventors, sportsmen, mathematicians, craftsmen. So people who really take pride with their work. Here at Cognizant Softvision Romania, we continue this tradition of craftsmanship. Our craft evolved from wood carving or pottery a couple of hundred of years back to creating software. What we do here at Cognizant Softvision Romania for our customers is to craft software. And to give you a glimpse into who we are and Romania in a nutshell, I'm going to pass on the stage to Mihai, who will tell you more about Romania. Mihai, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Maria. Good morning and good afternoon. First, welcome to the family. Really happy to meet you all today, and we are very glad to have you visiting us, even though, as Maria said, it is a virtual visit this time. We really love, the visits that we were having in the past years from different clients or colleagues of us globally. My mission in Cognizant Softvision is to ensure that our Romania operation is providing great experiences for our people and our clients. And there are many things that can be said about Romania. Maria, I think, told you a few of them, and we could spend many hours talking about that. I will try to focus on the most important ones, and in the next few minutes, you will get insights into what makes Romania an excellent location for software product engineering, what Cognizant Softvision's presence in Romania is, and what sets us apart from the competition when it comes to talent. So let's start with the local landscape first. Romania is considered the software engineering capital of Europe, thanks to many factors that powered its growth in the tech sector. And today I will share a few with you that we really considered important. Romania has been a member of the European Union and the NATO bloc for quite some time now, making it a secure location and a booming ground for businesses. And we are also lucky to be situated in a favorable geography that makes it ideal from a good time zone perspective, being able to work very well with Europe and, of course, with India and with the US. And thanks also to the tech sector, Romania has seen a sustained economic growth in the past years, which had made it a booming ground for businesses in the software domain as well. In the past years, we were able to see a push for diversity in tech, and we are proud to say that women in tech represent 28% of the workforce, significantly above the 16%, which is the European average. Last but not least, from a logistical point of view, we really have excellent internet infrastructure as we came to the game a bit later and we had a chance to implement directly the optical fiber. So we are one of the countries with the highest broadband internet speeds. And this came extremely handy, of course, recently when we all moved to working from home, because everybody's connection at home is really good. And also, actually, Bucharest was voted as the world's best city for remote working by Broadband Deals UK, taking into consideration a series of factors such as average internet speed, amount of remote working jobs, cost of a laptop and of living, or availability of food services. And this is yet another confirmation for our partners that Romania is the place to be for achieving strategic goals with the help of the talented, skilled Romanian professionals in software engineering. And because we mentioned time zones, from a time zone perspective, we are definitely well positioned because also the working scheduled are a bit shifted towards the afternoon, and we can easily overlap with the US markets. Of course, these reasons add up to a thriving industry, and we have attracted big names like Microsoft, Amazon, Oracle, Adobe, Electronic Arts, for instance, is one of the very well-known names in the video gaming industry, and its flagship soccer game, FIFA, as well. The fact that about 70% of FIFA is being produced in Romania definitely speaks volumes about the trust that Electronic Arts have in the engineers here. So my point is that these companies have contributed to the upskilling of the talent by entrusting the engineers here in Romania with their business challenges. And of course, you might wonder why the engineers, the highly skilled engineers I was talking about, want to work for us, for Cognizant Softvision. First of all, because Cognizant Softvision equals pure software product engineering DNA. And to explain that, I want to give you a bit of a background on the company that Cognizant acquired in 2018. Softvision was founded more than 20 years ago with the objective of providing engineering talent and solutions to the US market, in the beginning, especially to the West Coast. And of course, a logical place to start was Silicon Valley. And as we were growing, we have been partnering with a lot of tech startups, work that has allowed our engineering talent to always be at the cutting edge of technology. And that has truly shaped the DNA of the company. Just a few examples, in the early 2000s, we were working on building data synchronization software using SyncML. Maybe you remember that technology. And that was for Nokia, and then we implemented the same solution for AT&T. So if you had a Nokia device or a BlackBerry and you were syncing contacts from the web, we built that solution. We are also working for Palm OS, that tablet producer that maybe brought tablets a bit early on the market. We were also one of the first companies to do mobile development in Romania, doing iOS development in 2007. Actually, the mobile engagements that we started back then are still happening today. We have still those clients, and we are evolving together. Also on the website, when the JavaScript framework started transforming the scenery, the front-end scenery 10 years ago, we were already building electronic trading platforms for Wall Street. So technology enthusiasts really think of us as an employer of choice because they know how advanced and diverse the technologies we use are. And what is also important to highlight is that our growth throughout our history was organic, meaning that we didn't have or focused a lot on marketing, didn't have too much of a sales department. We grew because a lot of our clients were recommending us to other clients. Then in 2016, even though we already had studios in US, we became truly global by merging with an US company and expanded as a result our operations in India as well. And of course, one of the very important milestones in our history is becoming part of Cognizant in 2018. And we definitely had an awesome journey so far, growing, getting stronger, and being more exposed to various customers like ever before. Also, throughout our history, we've managed to constantly evolve towards a model that we feel differentiates us from the competition and allows us to better attract and retain talent. And I'm, of course, talking about the two dimensions layer model that you will hear about in the next minutes, which is talent and execution. Currently, Cognizant Softvision is home for more than 2,200 highly skilled engineers. We have 5 studios covering all the potential talent in all the major Romanian cities. We have a retention rate of more than 91%, which for us is definitely an indicator that we are doing the right things for our employees in a very highly competitive market. I was telling you before that we have big names in the industry. So given the competition, the retention rate that we have in Romania definitely shows that Cognizant Softvision is the place to be for many of the passionate technology enthusiasts in the country. And of course, as I was saying before, Cognizant really helped us grow. So since we became part of Cognizant, we managed to grow with about 50% since the beginning of 2019. And definitely we diversified our portfolio. Right now we have more than 90 customers who are working with us. Now let's zoom a bit in our Cognizant Softvision Romanian studios. We have a long-standing software education market, with some of our universities being in the top 100 in the world. And these universities are present in the large cities, and it is not a coincidence that in all these cities, Cognizant Softvision has a studio in place. All these cities are also extremely well equipped in terms of IT&C students and professionals. So we can say that Cognizant Softvision covers the majority of the tech market in Romania. Nowadays, our approach is actually to go fully national, regardless of the location. Of course, the entire COVID situation enables us to be really inclusive with the talent that we have in Romania. Now, the pictures that you are seeing on the slides are real ones from our offices around the country. We are actively working as we speak to make them provide great experiences for our Softvisioners when we will be able to get back to the offices. As for sure, we are definitely all missing the positive energies from our studios. And of course, these 5 studios in Romania are just part of a bigger global network, which we are so glad that you are also part of right now. So again, really happy to have you on board and looking forward to working together as a global network and as a global company. And I know I have talked a lot already, so let me stop. And we would be more than happy to answer any questions in the Q&A section at the end. Really hope you enjoy this short Romania and Cognizant Softvision overview, and that you will also enjoy the rest of the presentation. Maria, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mihai. Yes, if you have any questions, because we're a lot here in the call today, don't forget to type them on the chat. I'm going to I kindly ask our colleagues hosting the call to remind me of these questions at the end of the call. Now, let's have a bit of fun, because I promised you fun at the beginning of the meeting. So, if my colleagues can help me with the Zoom poll, we have a question for you. Let's see who wants to venture a guess. No Google allowed, okay? And the question is, which of these fun facts about Romania is not true? 1, capital city is Budapest. Open-minded people with an inclination toward craftsmanship. Football club Steaua Bucharest won the European Champions Cup in 1986. If we have any soccer fans here, let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. We still have some time to answer. Let's see. Vote now.
Can you see the poll?
Yes, I can see the poll. I'm hoping that the rest can see the poll as well, and people are still voting. And I think this is the final answer. Lore, I think we can stop the poll now. And the winner is capital city is Budapest. So you did pay attention to what we've we've told you so far, and that is true. And in case you were wondering if number three is false or true, because I've seen some answers as number three as well, well, that is true. In 1986, Football Club Steaua Bucharest won the European Championship Cup, and not just like that. We won it in glory. How do we do it? This guy here, the goalkeeper, Helmut Dukadam is his name, managed to become a national hero in two easy steps, so to say. First one, he saved four consecutive penalty shots out of the five that the others were entitled to. And he set the bar way too high for any other goalkeeper to be able to keep up. And that's how this guy became a national hero. And everybody remembers him even now for that game in 1986. So if you have any soccer fans, I know for sure that Matei here in the call can tell you more, can give you more details, of course, offline. And because the correct answer was yes, the capital city of Romania is Bucharest, not Budapest, I can tell you that we're fine with the confusion. We're so fine with the confusion that in 2013, the biggest Romanian chocolate company, Rom Tricolor, started a campaign to stop the confusion. The campaign was Bucharest, not Budapest. So if ever you want to travel to Bucharest, Romania, again, make sure you book a flight to Bucharest and not Budapest. Now, because I know for a fact that you want to hear more about the secret sauce that Mihai was telling you before, the separation of talent and execution, let's talk more about communities. So allow me to pass it on to Bogdan, our head of communities Romania, to tell you more about that. Bogdan, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Maria. So my name is Bogdan Pupeza and I'm head of communities in Romania, and I'm saying hello to you all from Transylvania. Thank you very much for making time to join today's call and learn about the Cognizant Softvision in Romania, and welcome to the Cognizant Softvision family. As you've heard from Mihai and from Maria, one of the secrets to our success lies in the way we are organized. So let's hear a bit more about communities. First, I'm gonna start with a bit of history. A few years ago, we saw the need to do something different to continue attracting, motivating, and growing our talent. What we did is that we found a way to connect similarly skilled professionals, think iOS, Android, Java professionals, in a way that breaks boundaries of specific projects, city, country, or region. This is done under the community umbrella. By doing so, we enable Cognizant Softvisioners to connect and share knowledge, ideas, create paths for them to learn, grow, and evolve. Each community in our company is driven to become more united, better at what they do, self-structuring, leader forming, and every success at each level comes about with the great pride and desire to do more. As talent is arguably the most important asset we have, it's separately managed from execution. We are organized in a matrix structure where talent is managed from communities and execution is managed from delivery via our pod methodology. As a general overview, we have 12 communities in Romania. Each one is led by one or more community managers. Within the communities, we have the perfect context for an engineer to explore projects, learn technology, feel enabled, and build a career. As you can see, our communities cover in a specialized manner pretty much every technical skill you might think of to build end-to-end products. And for building these products, we use state-of-the-art technologies. So to give an example, for mobile, we use Swift and Swift UI to build native iOS applications, Kotlin to build native Android applications. For a more hybrid approach, we combine the native technologies with React Native and Flutter. I would not go through all the communities since it will take a lot of time, but if needed, we can follow up on this. I know you heard a lot about communities from various sources, and you might wonder, why are these so relevant to you? The way we see it is that operating in communities is a unique value proposition to foster onboard new hires, but also to make sure that they have a career growth plan inside each community. It is also how we make sure that all the knowledge within the company can be accessed by any member of the community, expanding their technical horizon by benefiting from experiences that their colleagues from the same community have on other projects. That also happens when we work in hybrid pods. Our colleagues are being able to learn new things, be that business or tech-wise, directly from our customers. Hence, each Softvisioner has the entire power of communities behind him. And to tell you more about the community framework, I'm going to invite Anna, Senior Web Community Manager, to tell you more. Anna, you have the floor.
Thank you, Bogdan. Hi, everyone. I'm Ana Bandas. As you can see, we are celebrating this month 10 years of Iași Studio. I'm located in Iași, which is in on the other side of the country than Transylvania on the east part. And I'm really happy to tell you more about our community framework. What I think the most important part is that a community is a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common interests and goals. Community is not limited to the people who are located in a certain area or in the same studio, and it goes beyond that. Our well thought out community framework is focused on these five areas. People motivation. We ensure that Softvisioners are constantly motivated. They have technical challenges, a clear career path that they can follow, a good team collaboration, and fair compensation. Project staffing. We ensure that we are having an efficient project allocation mechanism to respond quickly to project and customer expectation with the right talent. We always strive to have a win-win situation for both the project and the person working on that project. Talent development. We ensure to have a clear set of mechanisms to enable people to constantly grow and deliver their skills, both technical and non-technical. They have access to training, in-house or e-learning platforms, coaching and mentoring programs. They work on relevant projects. We do cross-training or upskilling programs and so on. Consultancy and thought leadership. We leverage the collective knowledge to address project engineering specific issues for our partners. We encourage our colleagues to have that consultant mindset and also share their expertise and knowledge in both internal and external conferences. Enabling connections. Our communities are connecting people with the same aspiration and tech interests. So we make knowledge sharing possible beyond the project team, scaling up to an entire community. With a well-grounded framework for community, teams begin to grow organically, but with a desire to continue to do better for themselves and for their projects. So maybe you wonder, how do we scale that high-touch feeling, and how do we manage to preserve it with each individual that is part of a community? Our model to scale up communities is through a well-thought community leadership structure that you can see. Each community manager works closely with one or more community leads, and each community lead is focused on a smaller group inside the community and is working closely with community influencers to ensure high level of engagement inside their dedicated group. By focusing on smaller groups of people, we make sure that we have a clear overview of the people's satisfaction within the project that they are working on, that they find relevant content and context inside the community in order to evolve. We gather and offer constant feedback on community activities and so on. It also helps us to communicate efficiently inside the community both ways. The community engine is powered by a variety of fuels, and they all help in creating a strong sense of community inside Cognizant Softvision. You can force people to become a group, but you cannot force them to become a community. It takes time to achieve a sense of community. It has to be nourished from within, and it's a continuous growing process. But at the end of the day, it's absolutely worth it. Learning is facilitated by access to several online training platforms where people can subscribe and learn with recommended courses for a specific topic. And actually, whenever we recommend a new technology in a project from the community, there is already an approved training material for that is accessed by our team and both the teams from our client. The strong sense of community is nurtured through different types of activities that engage our colleagues on different levels. Thought leadership, R&D experience, monthly challenges, focus study groups, local meetups, and last but not least, recognition and appreciation area. All these activities give each employee a strong sense of community. Thought leadership is one of the most important areas that define our communities. We take great pride in the talented people that we have, and we like to showcase our technical expertise whenever possible. Our colleagues are part of the most important lineups in the national conferences that happen across Romania. CodeCamp, DevCon, DevTalks, IT Days are just a few of these important events that we have participated in the last year. We also encourage theme events that are driven by a certain community inside Cognizant Softvision. Last year, for example, our Android community organized Solid Week that had several presentations focused on the main principles of object-oriented design. Our web community organized Performance Week, another theme week with several presentations focused on, you probably guessed, driving performance in our applications. Programmers Week is our traditional event in Cognizant Softvision, and last year we had our 6th edition. It's an event organized around the International Programmers Day, and we celebrate it globally by yet again showcasing our expertise through a large number of tech talks covering all technologies. I have been lucky to see this event grow from the 1st edition, and this year you will have the pleasure to be involved in writing the story of yet another successful 7th edition of Programmers Week. So stay tuned for this September to see how you can get involved. And now to tell you more about the R&D component of our community engine, I will invite Monica, our R&D master, to take the stage.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, everyone. My name is Monica Filip. I'm a delivery manager and the R&D manager here in Cognizant Softvision Romania. As Anna said, and as Bogdan said, in creating and maintaining this sense of community, R&D plays a huge role. In the next minutes, I'll share with you what R&D means here inside Cognizant Softvision Romania and share just a few examples of the products we've developed so far. I'll start with why. It all started with our proactive colleagues who wanted to continuously grow their technical knowledge while contributing to meaningful products. Step by step, as more initiatives came to life, we felt the need to channel all this talent and give it a clear direction. So what you can see here is just a part of our strategy for innovation and growth within the communities. So far, we've developed over 30 community projects. You can notice that we've focused on 4 main areas, like solving internal needs through applications like Interview, Skill Matrix, Portal, and these can be easily extrapolated to other companies' needs because we're not that different after all. Then we focused on tailoring external solutions. For that, we paired up with charity NGOs, entertainment groups, and created specific solutions. We then created business solutions very common in the industry, such as e-commerce, data warehouse applications. And then we focused on innovation by looking at industry trends or world reality and creating solutions, again, having in mind that all these products can be leveraged and tailored for specific needs. The first example I'm going to talk about is a banking financial system app. The drive for this was our wish to come in the support of our customers. This by expanding our fintech knowledge and create a technical solution that would act as a business accelerator. The solution aims to give the users more control over their finances through multiple shareable accounts, providing smart limit suggestions based on their transaction history. I'd like you to see this as a showcase for various banking use cases that can be implemented in mobile, onboarding, card management, account management features. To provide more insight on the technical side, the solution is based on microservices architecture with Kafka and Spring Boot and mobile React Native on frontend. As a secondary outcome, it also makes us continuously search for product-oriented feedback. We've even included a survey use case tailored for a specific customer that was particularly interested in this solution. This helped us build for our client a strong solution that demonstrates both technical expertise and product-oriented approach. The next example is Cortex, a soft skill product, because as we all know, in our day-to-day work, soft skills play a critical role, same as the technical ones. Our pods, now fully virtual, invest time in the full range of skills. So what was our challenge here? It was to create an app that ensures a couple of mechanisms for our employees, CPD evaluators, HRs, to address this soft skills growth. Another drive for creating such a solution was to keep our people motivated, to enable them to actually implement the solution, to tackle the technical challenges, and contribute to growing our customer-oriented attitude through building this app. The solution we ended up creating was a search-based catalog where employees can find and be notified about the available resources, books, videos, trainings, based on the custom recommendation system we've built. The last example is Advice, which stands for Advice Deep Vision Shopping Experience. And why am I telling you this? Because it's a great example of innovation and of connecting people with the same passion for machine learning and AI while sharing and growing their technical knowledge and apply it to a certain solution. You can see this product matching an innovative shopping experience. It's a mobile app that uses machine learning technologies to detect clothing items and extract various features. The user has then the capability to use the camera or an existing image from his device. Also, the app uses a server that returns for each image details like color, pattern, size. And with all this info, the app can search the internet for similar clothes. A large retail client was particularly inspired by this solution, and it helped them to create a new product that was tailored for their specific business needs. As you can see, what R&D means here in Cognizant Softvision Romania is an intersection of technical challenges, innovation, upskilling, motivation strategy, all blended with a product and business-oriented vision that creates a place for basically anyone, regardless of community, to contribute and make an impact. Thank you all. Handing over to Radu.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Radu. I've been doing Android for 10 years now, 6 out of which here at Cognizant Softvision, where I'm Android community lead. So if up until now we've seen how promoting knowledge sharing through tech talks and incubating innovation from R&D projects can bring people together, we still need to see how we keep people together, right? Because that's what the community is. So let's take a look at other few ingredients from our community recipe. This is honestly my favorite. So it all started with localized groups, meetups where people from the same community in the same studio would meet up and engage and talk about different things. And now it's grown to all communities, right? So we have these localized and recurring meetups, which are a great way to build a flourishing community. It's up to every community how they want to set the recurrence. I've seen in some communities it's 1 month. In my community, for example, it's every week. And if you're curious what happens here, like the key is variety. We do live coding, we do coding dojos, we do tech talks, tech presentations, project presentations, and we even do technical debates. So what's very nice is that it's kind of like a harness for upcoming speakers where they want to present, they want to practice their presentation skills, right? These meetings also help create some strong bonds between community members, and it also builds like a safety net where people feel comfortable talking about technical problems and even debating them. So one nice thing we've come to see is that the accumulated community experience is actually greater than the sum of individual experiences. Now, with the last year being how it's been, we've all moved online. So keeping up the community engagement has been a high priority for us. So what we did is actually leverage internal tools and social networks like Workplace. And there we employ some gamification techniques like friendly competitions, maybe technical, some outdoorsy, maybe not a lot of outdoorsy ones lately. But what we want to do is actually encourage knowledge sharing and nudging people a little bit more to invest into their personal and professional growth. And we have a lot of creative ways of doing this. It could be like a friendly game of Kotlin tip tag. It can be posting a new problem in the algorithmic challenge, but honestly, the result is the same. We're trying to make technical growth and knowledge sharing more fun. Let's say another thing we do, you've seen we put a lot of emphasis on personal and professional growth and helping each other out. So we make an effort of always identifying common objectives for people. And then we create these study groups or harnesses that enable them to learn together. It could be training for a certification like the Java SE 11 or ISTQB. It could be upskilling to web technologies, it could be conversions to big data, or just think of it, we just find people that want to learn a technology and put them together so they can learn about it and help each other. And these study groups vary in terms of target duration and size. They're a place where knowledge sharing is encouraged and they evolve based on needs over time. But all in all, it kind of proves that we're better together, right? And last but not least, it's important at the end of the day to take a step back and reflect back on all of the community activities and all of the people that don't understand, that actually understand better than everyone that communities are all about give and take. But there are some people that give more than they take. So what we do is identify, recognize, and show our appreciation for these people, whether it's techie gadgets as prizes or just giving them a kudos in our groups so they know they're appreciated and that we validate the impact that they're making on our communities. And because we've probably bored you with a lot of information on communities, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section and we'll get to answering them at the end of the meeting. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your travel. And Maria, back to you.
Thank you so much, Radu, Monica, Anna, Bogdan. Again, I know that we're giving you a lot of information. We wanted to show you everything. It's not going to be possible, but at least we've opened the conversation. I know that some of you may have to leave for customer meetings or other meetings, so keep on posting your questions on the chat, and I'm going to ask my colleagues to keep an eye on the chat, and they're going to try to answer you real time. I've seen that Bogdan already answered some of the questions. All right, now some fun. Again, promised you fun. I'm hoping that that's what we're delivering. So I'm going to go back to Lore to help us with the second Zoom poll. And the question that we have here for the driving aficionado would be, what is the name of the world's best driving road situated in Romania? Is it the Transfăgărășan? Is it the Nürburgring? Or is it Imola? Let's see. Who knows? No cheating, right? Let's see who actually knows which one it is. The answers are coming. We also have some hints on chat. somebody on chat, Gilbert here, knows his circuits, right? The driving roads from Top Gear. I'm a Top Gear fan as well, so kudos for watching it. Okay, we still have answers coming, sorry. Lore, I think we have our result. I think we can close the poll. And the winner is right on the money, I would say, Transfăgărășan. And if you cannot pronounce it, it's okay. We can barely do it as well. It's coming from Făgăraș. That's a chain of mountains that we actually had to break in order to build this road. So the answer is 1, Transfăgărășan. Yes, the Nürburgring is in Germany and Imola is in Italy, as Gilbert was mentioning. The Transfăgărășan road was named the world's best driving road by Top Gear UK. So what happened is that these guys took their very fancy cars and they did a tour around Romania. And when they got to Transfăgărășan, they were absolutely amazed. They loved what they saw there, and of course, all the entire travel throughout the Transfăgărășan road. And as a pop culture detail here, Transfăgărășan was built in the 1970s by the military forces because at that point we were fearful for a Soviet invasion. So the president decided that we needed a quick escape through the mountains. And yeah, it was built with a lot of tons of dynamite at a very high altitude. Quite impressive. So next time you're going to be in Romania, don't shy away to rent a car and just take the road towards Transfăgărășan. You're not going to regret it. Good. Okay. I'm hoping that we're keeping you engaged here and that you like what you're hearing. Now let's get back to serious things here. I'm going to pass it on to Matei, our head of delivery Romania, to tell you more about how we create successful partnerships. Matei?
Thank you, Maria. Hi, everyone. Delivery is also fun, not just serious. Just wanted to make that clear. So my name is Matei Neagoș. I'm based in the city of Cluj. I've been with the company for 12 and something years. Now I've played a lot of different roles over this time. Nowadays, when I'm not a travel assistant to Maria, I'm responsible for everything that gets delivered out of Romania or managed by the team based here. Bogdan mentioned earlier 2 dimensions. The second one, the execution, is the responsibility of the delivery team. So I wanted to give you a view on how we're structured on the delivery side, the way we engaged with customers, ways of working, and an example of engagement to see it in practice. Now, the structure of the delivery team is quite lean. I would say we're organized in delivery portfolios managed by a delivery director, and each engagement has a delivery manager that's directly responsible for the outcome. Basically, there should not be any Softvision engineers involved in a project without the oversight from one of our delivery managers. And this is to make sure that the mentality, the ways of working, the culture, everything in our DNA, what Mihai was talking about earlier, is also preserved. Delivery then works together with the client and with the communities to come up with the correct solution for each business problem that we have in front of us. For instance, let's take as example partner number 3. We have here on the screen. He wants to build a native mobile app. So once we clarify the tech stack details and decide on how we want to implement this, we start ramping up a pod. That's basically what we call our delivery teams, with 4 engineers from the iOS community, 2 quality engineers from the QA community, and 2 designers from the UX community. Now, when these engineers join their new project, it doesn't mean they will exit the community. They are still part of it and will continue to benefit from that partnership. As you heard earlier, we call our teams pods. Basically, they're the atomic unit of the partnership models that we strive for. They're the preferred way of engaging with a customer. Of course, depending on the context, we can start as part of a customer's teams where we join to understand the ways of working, their culture. We call that hybrid pods, as you see there on the left, where we have both our colleagues as well as client or even other vendors part of the same program or even teams. You can think of these pods as cross-functional agile teams, squads, Kanbans. The name doesn't really matter. The idea is we adapt to the ways of working that are already in place if it's the case, or we propose what we believe it's best if we have a clean slate, so to speak, to start with. The idea is that a pod is a client-dedicated team, which should be constructed in such a way that it can deliver a body of work independently and also in a measurable fashion so it can improve in the next iteration. The pods methodology is adopted by our teams to enhance the client's delivery frameworks and of supporting the teams in their strive for excellence, providing a framework tailored then to each customers, which ensures efficiency, predictability in delivery while measuring a KPI-driven performance. Game of pods, what you see there on the right, is the final layer, the final piece of the puzzle. That's the pod model. It's a global gamification program, a proprietary tool that we are building as we speak. And the delivery part of that tool is basically an agile acceleration platform, a gamified way for continuous improvement. The goal of the delivery is to accelerate the change management, drive competitiveness, basically is to codify the agile culture. Now, one of the secrets or the secret to the way we deliver, I think, lies somewhere between the way our delivery managers run The clients set the context, the expectations, build and guide their teams, together with the quality of the engineers, augmented by their presence in the community with all the historical knowledge that we gathered in the 22 years of our existence. It's basically a consultancy and a partnership mindset that allows us to build long-term partnerships with our clients. The vast majority of the 60 plus clients we had when we were acquired 2 years ago were partnerships basically on open-ended contracts that were going on for 7, 10, 13, even more than that. Nowadays, we have more than 90 clients. About 50% of these engagements started since we joined Cognizant, and now we're working to build that emotional connection, as we call it, to elevate these new engagements to the levels of partnerships that we have for our other long-standing clients. The business domains of the clients, as you might see some of the logos on the screen, are very diverse, from non-profit health providers, life science companies that are working to create a better and safer tomorrow, retail in a very wide variety of areas, beauty. I'll talk about a project in this area soon. Agriculture, IoT, home security, cool automotive logos. As you see there, BMW. Even in the financial sector, it's not just the big mean banks. We're also building trading systems for startup companies, and I'm sure I missed quite a bunch in this enumeration. And now to get to the example.
Matej,
yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you just a short minute here, because there are 2 questions on the chat, and I think it's the right moment. Is the right moment to answer them now until we get to the client. So, in a percentage, do you have an idea on how many pods are hybrid versus fully owned? Is the first question.
I think it's about 60, 65 that are hybrid. The rest are fully owned, but it's about the full engagement. As I will speak in the next example, you see even in the same project, in the same program, you'll have fully owned pods or hybrid pods. So it doesn't really apply to the entire engagement.
Okay, thank you for that. We hope that we answered your question, Pete. Mark is asking you how many ratio devs QE can a pod scale to, or is it maxed at 2 devs per 2 key per pod?
Usually the recommended number of people in a pod, it's about 8. So depending on Scrum Masters, UX, DevOps, maybe you have 4 engineers, 2 QAs, something like that. So 1 QA for every 2 developers.
Thank you so much, Matej, for taking us through the fun and serious delivery part as well. I got that. So we're trying to be mindful of time. We have around 20 more minutes until the end of our travel together. So allow us just to have a very short recap. What we've done so far is we've walked you a bit through Romania, Bucharest. We've talked to you about Romania in a nutshell as a business destination, but also about Cognizant Softvision Romania, the communities part, and also a few of the communities showcases, the sense of community and the community engine and what keeps that alive, but also the delivery approach and a few examples, the Estée Lauder case that Matej just mentioned. Now, because no real visit would actually be complete without sightseeing, let's end with a very, very quick helicopter view, if you want, over Romania. Just enough to make you want to come back and actually visit some more. So let's dive in. If you're a fan of the seaside, you can absolutely enjoy your summer vacation here on a beach at the Black Sea, which, remember, is still actually blue, by the way. If you're more of a mountaineer, then this is the country you want to visit. Trails for hiking, and you can hike inside deep green forests. We have some of the last virgin forests that you can find in Europe. And if you're more of a daredevil, paragliding, parachuting, other extreme sports will give you the opportunity to admire some absolutely amazing landscapes. And if you ever wanted to see the Egyptian Sphinx, but you never got a chance to actually do it, well, you can find sort of a natural copy here in Romania on top of the mountains on the Bucegi Plateau, and you can find this beautiful monument there. If you like to chase waterfalls, as we would say, you're in luck. Plenty of those in our mountains as well. And if you prefer lower landscapes and maybe fauna, we have a huge biosphere reservation in the Danube's Delta. So bring your binoculars. You're going to have some birds watching to do. Passion for the underground? Literally, well, in Romania, you can visit old salt mines that were actually transformed into underground cities or training places for sportsmen. And if you prefer cities to wildlife, we have plenty of those with medieval architecture or whatever type of architecture that would be actually. And if you want castles, well, I'm sure you've all heard about Dracula's castle, as you see here on this slide, or other castles such as the Peleș one, former royal residence. And if you're in search of spirituality, no worries. The region of Bukovina is filled with amazing churches and monasteries. And just in case you want to learn something, a craft, you're in the right place. Learning a craft is absolutely the thing that you can do here in Romania. So why not come back here to the land of the fairies and see with your own eyes the beauties that Romania has to offer? We will surely be waiting for you. So this is who we are, and this is where we live. Welcome to the family, and we hope to see you soon. Now you know some names, you've seen some faces. If you have questions, you know on which doors to knock. So let's keep the conversation going. And what I want to do is I want to teach you one Romanian word that will come very handy when you're talking to your Romanian peers. I want to thank you for being such a lovely audience, which in Romanian would be mulțumesc. So make sure you know mulțumesc, and I think that will go a long way. So thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time to be here with us today. And if you have questions, we have the floor open for questions. So you can type them on the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask them directly. So let's see, do we have any questions? I know that we had one on communities, and I know that Bogdano already answered that one. We had the ones on delivery, and I think Matei covered them. I see a question here that I think we didn't cover. Could you provide more information on the automation framework? What languages, closed, open source? Is that a question that we can answer now? Should we take it offline?
I was on mute, sorry. On a high level, I got some notes in the meantime. So it's Java, Apache Camel, Spock, Geb. It's basically an abstraction over Selenium. But if anything more is needed, I think that's what the QA community is here for. So we can definitely get in contact with them and find out more.
Great,
But
thank you so much, Matei.
It's open source, that's for sure.
Perfect.
I'll paste it in the chat as well, so we have it for posterity.
Great. I don't see any other question. Maybe I missed them, but again, feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions and ask them directly. So I will take silence as no other questions. In this case, thank you so much for being here today with us. And we hope that you had some fun, you've learned some things, and that we actually made you want to visit Romania for good next time they're going to be here, and we're going to be able to talk face to face without screens that separate us. So once again, thank you for this road trip. We hope that you had some fun, and mulțumesc for being such a lovely audience. See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.